watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
We are tracking Hurricane Milton as it intensifies and moves closer to Florida's west coast. Taking a live look right now at Hillsborough and the Tampa Bay area.
Milton's track is set to engulf the region with its storm surge and turn out this massive amount of debris from Helene's devastation into so many projectiles. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on DC News Now at 9. I'm Susan Tran.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Milton is expected to make landfall on the west coast of Florida sometime late tomorrow night. And we have live team coverage tonight. DC News Now's Mario Carbone is at Dulles Airport, speaking with passengers flying in from Florida, trying to get away from that storm.
And our Daniel Hamburg is in Rockville as more first responders from Maryland's Task Force 1, they are preparing to head south to help.
Yeah, but first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. And Janessa, that hurricane appears to be picking up steam.
Yeah, now it's really game on as it moves out of Mexico. Really, that landmass was kind of helping break down that storm system on the southern quadrant, but now it's going into a warm body of water. It's almost hot water that's acting as octane fuel to Milton at this time. Still classified as a high in Cat 5 at this point for the next solid 24 hours. That's what it will maintain as it approaches landfall in western Florida. First, feeder bands are starting to now make their way out towards Tampa, Naples area, Sarasota as well. The track has changed, but just in the last 24 hours, been watching this storm system very closely. It has wobbled twice, one to the north, one to the south. And so there's just that unpredictability of exactly where it's going. And so as we get closer to landfall, the cone of uncertainty will continue to get skinnier and skinnier. By tomorrow afternoon, it does get downgraded to a Cat 4. Folks, 151 miles per hour classifies it as a Cat 5, and so we'll be 1 mile per hour short of that, making landfall now just south of the Tampa area overnight tomorrow. And so now we're talking about a landfall at a nocturnal situation and then still a Cat 1 going into Orlando. That is the Safford-Simpson scale, and it just shows you the wind impacts for this storm system. Nothing to do with that 15 to potentially 19 feet of storm surge. I have more on that coming up.
All right, Janessa, thanks. Meanwhile, take a look here. Deserted terminals at Tampa's airport tonight. Multiple airports across Florida, they're now closed. Flights are expected to be suspended through Thursday at most of the airports there in Florida. Many of those evacuees heading here to the DMV, flying into Dulles, Reagan, and BWI. Our Mario Carbone continues our live team coverage tonight from DCA. And Marielle, many of those passengers telling you they're really so much relief to finally be here.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, think about it. Many of those in this storm path, they are still recovering from Hurricane Helene, some of them losing everything in that storm. So the idea of another storm, another hurricane coming through is difficult for them to fathom. Passengers we spoke to say it was just a relief to be able to make it on a flight up north today. Across the Tampa Bay area, lines of backed up traffic and empty gas pumps as people try to evacuate ahead of Hurricane Milton.
Seems like one station has it for a while and then they don't.
Many heading as far north as the DMV.
I am real fortunate.
John Tersham was one of the last out of Tampa's airport this morning, landing at Dulles this afternoon. He describes an eerie scene before taking flight.
Quiet, everybody kind of nervous, what I'll call businessy like.
As people prepare for Milton, many are still cleaning up from Hurricane Helene, which hit the East Coast less than 2 weeks ago.
Water damage, we've seen roadways literally moved by the rushing water.
Mike Litteris, spokesperson with the National Park Service, is one of about half a dozen DMV-based park employees deployed in Cherokee, North Carolina. They're helping clean up damage along the Blue Ridge Parkway. What he's seen so far, in some cases, has been catastrophic.
It's things that we see when we go to the Florida Panhandle during hurricane season. It's nothing that any of us ever expected to see this far north.
The incoming storm, another battle, with MPS diverting some crews back to Florida.
Stretched a little thin now until we see what happens with Milton.
The rush now on to get emergency services in and people safely out as landfall gets closer.
I just don't think anybody can grasp it unless you've ever gone through it.
And Literer says he does expect some local NPS members to be asked to go down to Florida. Just how many and who is unclear at this moment. Chris and Susan, I also reached out to Dominion Energy, and they are also in that wait and see mode right now to see what happens with Milton. We do know that currently there are 100 Dominion Energy workers from the Virginia area that are deployed and working in South Carolina, still helping with those recovery efforts from Helene. Reporting live from Reagan National Airport tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, a lot of concern and a lot of waiting and seeing. Marielle, thank you so much. There are several local crews heading south. The Red Cross still has volunteers in Florida from Helene and search and rescue teams from Maryland's Task Force 1. They are set to make their way to North Carolina as other crews shift back down to Florida in anticipation of Milton. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg tells us about this group and how they're preparing for this mission.
Maryland Task Force 1, based in Rockville, has been deployed for 13 days.
Which consists of 45 personnel. And they're anything from experts in medical services to structural integrity to swiftwater rescue to search and rescue.
The team started out in Georgia, then were redeployed to North Carolina.
It's a catastrophe, like I said earlier, and now Milton is making it even worse.
Because of the devastation, a fresh set of resources will help continue the mission for another 2 weeks.
They can continue the work that they've been doing in North Carolina, or they can be deployed anywhere else where they're most needed.
Right now, there's still a big need where Hurricane Helene hit. American Red Cross volunteers are providing assistance to people affected.
A lot of power outage here in the Tallahassee area, so we've been doing mobile feeding to the people who didn't have power.
Volunteer Vic Parker is deployed in Tallahassee, Florida.
This storm is much more devastating because of the power outage and the trees down. I say that because it's more widespread.
Not just one city, but spread across multiple states. Hurricane Milton is expected to be worse than Helene, but emergency crews are ready.
I am confident in our team. I'm confident in the training that they received, and they're ready to go take care of whatever need there is, regardless of the size and complex of the incident.
All right, there's still so much work to be done from Helene, and now we wait for Milton. All right, thank you so much, Daniel Hamburg, reporting for us. Now developing tonight in Maryland as well. Prince George's County officials, they say a student leaving Parkdale High School was hit by a car this afternoon. Investigators say that the teen was crossing Good Luck Road at the time of this crash. The student was taken to the hospital in critical condition, and they're still looking into what caused this crash.
Developing now in the district, police are on the scene of a deadly shooting in Northeast. A man was found shot and killed on 7th Street. That's in the Chinatown area. It happened around 1:30 this afternoon. Homicide detectives are investigating. We'll bring you any updates as soon as they become available. And D.C. police are investigating another deadly shooting, also in Northeast. They say Taquan Turner was shot last night on T Street near 2nd Street Northeast. Anyone with information is asked to get in touch with police.
In Maryland, a really important meeting in Prince George's County, really hoping to keep people in potentially dangerous relationships and keep them safe.
Yeah, they're looking to prevent domestic violence by raising awareness and sharing details about resources. DC News Now's Tim Reed has more on the event.
Domestic violence cases are up 13% in Prince George's County and make up a large percentage of homicides, according to the police chief. Tonight I spoke to some area residents and members of this panel who were hoping their efforts will make a difference.
So this is a significant issue across our nation, actually, and including in Prince George's County. So lifetime prevalence for women is about 4 in 10 women will experience domestic violence, so it's pretty high.
The Prince George's County Council, along with a roundtable panel, discussed the issue of domestic violence and how it impacts the community. It was called Prevent and Respond.
It's really important that we get to the root of what's behind people mistreating each other and try to make it stop. I mean, it's the things that happen are so outrageous and awful and tragic.
What I hope is that the foundation of love will be present in our hearing room tonight, and that we begin to ask each other the question, what can we do more to make sure that we all are doing what we can to eradicate domestic violence.
The panel discussion explored the complexity of domestic violence and brought together key perspectives on health, safety resources, and public safety. According to the National Domestic Violence Hotline across the country, More than 12 million men and women are victims every year.
So we're here in Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so that really is the most important thing, is to raise awareness about the issue of domestic violence, to reduce the stigma so that people who are experiencing domestic violence themselves or who see it in their community will really come forward and encourage people to get support.
County leaders tell us they will continue to hold these discussions to educate the public. In Largo, Maryland tonight, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
The D.C. sports community mourning a former Washington football player. All-Pro defensive back Pat Fisher has died. The Commanders posting the news to X tonight. Fisher was a 3-time Pro Bowler and 2-time first-team All-Pro. He played for Washington from 1968 to 1977. Fisher was 84 years old.
There's a new school in Maryland really focused on STEM education, and it has a major league name behind it. Prince George's County leaders and the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation all gathered for a ribbon cutting of this new state-of-the-art STEM center there at the Tyack Elementary School. The goal is to increase the number of students who are pursuing science, technology, engineering, and math careers. It is part of a 3-year, $3 million project to open 81 STEM centers all across the country.
All right, 10 years ago this week, same-sex marriage became legal in Virginia.
And on this 10th anniversary, some of the first to tie the knot are remembering the milestone with DC News Now's Max Marcella.
This February, it'll be 30 years. We met in DC. I had a party. She was uninvited.
I did crash a party.
But she brought beer.
Spend just a few minutes with Shannon Moran and Carla Uriona, and it's clear their love story is still being written.
You gotta learn to let stuff go. Pick your battles.
Whatever it is, let it go.
They've learned a lot, but were never able to marry, at least not in their home in Virginia.
We had the option of going to another state and getting married, and we just held up because we live here and we built our life here.
That is until October 6th, 2014, when the Supreme Court turned away an appeal from 5 states, including Virginia, seeking to ban gay and lesbian unions. This several months before a landmark decision making same-sex marriage legal nationwide.
I went to work after that, and then you're like, let's go get married right now. I'm like, wait. Just, yes, but let's do it tomorrow.
Shannon and Carla came here to the Arlington County Courthouse to say their I do's when they got an offer. An open door to a nearby church and an officiant who just the day before married the first same-sex couple here in the county.
And I said a few words about how meaningful it was for their love and for everyone who believed that people should be able to marry the people they love.
Reverend Linda Olson Peebles remembers this day, saying it was a day of joy and faith.
It's deeply a faithful thing to say that we believe that everybody has worth and dignity.
The next day, Shannon and Carla took a scooter ride to the church and were wed, a logistical and symbolic milestone.
We have a son, and either one of us can enroll him in a soccer camp because we're both his parent. And looking back on it 10 years now, I'm just ridiculously grateful and so excited.
In Arlington, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
Well, tonight we are helping you stretch your dollar to help you find the best deals. Amazon's Prime Big Deal Days are now here, just in time to get a head start on your holiday shopping. Trending right now, an Insignia TV with Fire TV is 46% off. There's also several deals for Apple products. The 9th generation iPad is 40% off. You can also save 19% on Apple AirTags. And it's not just tech that has good deals. Graco baby car seats are up 30% off, and household items like the Ninja Creamy ice cream maker, that is 20% off. So happy shopping. Well, deals run until tomorrow. We've got a full list on the best ones right now on our website, dcnewsnow.com.